Great. Welcome to outdoor hot as hell yoga. We're going to do a lot of cooling postures today, trying to just settle and find some groundedness. I have been trying to talk about groundedness quite a lot lately because a lot of the stimulus that we've been experiencing in the world is it's like more of like pulling everything out by the roots, right? You know, like everything that we thought we were going into 2020 with, the reality of 2020 is a drastically different experience. And this thing that happens with our reaction to that is especially because life is consistently changing and developing and evolving. It's really hard to be in a place that has not completed its cycle yet. It's hard to be in this place where like, oh, okay, like eventually we'll get Corona handled, but I don't know when or what that looks like. And maybe eventually we handle these like major social difficulties happening in our country and in the US here right now, but I don't know when and I don't know what that looks like. And I started seeing somebody recently, and we're still in that like phase where we don't really know where this is going and what it looks like, and it's so scary. It's so weird, and I can just feel myself getting in this like really anxious and uncomfortable place all the time because I feel like in myself I feel that so magnified. Like I just want to know where I'm going and what it looks like, and what really sucks is that I don't get to make that decision all the time. But I can cultivate the capacity to be okay in this moment because I know what it looks like if I'm really here and I have my eyes open and I am attuned to this experience, and not worry about what it's going to look like later. We can have direction towards what it looks like later. We can have direction to cultivate, hopefully, better things later. But the only time that truly exists is right here and right now. This is all that is real. We're going to work on being here and in this moment, rooted and calm as much as we can be, to ride the music and our breath, be here in our bodies and in this space. I'm going to offer a breath to you. It's called Satali breath, and I call it the frosted Cheerio breath, because what you do is you make a tiny little Cheerio with your mouth, and then you kind of sort of stick your tongue out at the bottom, so it's like a little bit of frosting there. So make this like a little O, and like kind of get your tongue out, and you go. I feel it getting kind of chilly, a little bit cooled as the air goes in and out through your mouth. This is a really good breath to tune into when you need to cool your body down. So take a few more breaths like that. As you continue breathing like that, just a few more. Just checking in with the body that you've brought to your mat today. Noticing where your consciousness seems to want to drag you out to, because that's what brains do. They're good at that. See if you can bring your consciousness, bring all of those fleeting thoughts into this moment, into this truth. Round of breath like that, and then relax your lips. You can start breathing like that at any other point in our practice today if that seems like a good thing to do for where you're at. We'll begin our practice by releasing the sound of Om 3 times together, and you can scream, yell, death metal growl if you want. But first, take a really big breath in through your nose, big breath out through your mouth, and again like that. For 3, Om. Take your right hand out towards the right side and reach your left arm up and over. Let your shoulder blade kind of glide forward so that you're stretching through the upper back. And then start looking down towards your right hand as you relax your left hip a little bit more towards the earth. Stay here for a full breath in and a full breath out. And stay where you are. Just take the arm now and reach it over towards the left again. And as you look downwards, you'll get a nice stretch through the side of your neck, and more stretch if you reach your fingertips out more actively. You want to do all of this very slow so that you're there for each moment as it changes and passes. Stay here for one more exhale. And then reach that arm back up and over again. And as you get back into the side stretch, try to soften the space between your neck and your arm. What does that feel like? How does it change things? Inhaling here. And exhaling here. And then coming up to the middle. Walking your left fingertips out and taking your right arm up and over. And instead of having the arm up above your head, let it be just slightly in front of your head. And then start looking down towards the left hand. One more breath in and out like this. And stay here except for the right arm. You're going to reach that out towards the right again. And just keeping your fingertips active. Find a good place to put your head. Do it slowly. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And then take the arm up and over again. And when you get there, try to soften in between your arms and your neck. So all of that inner shoulder space. Breathing in. Breathing out. And taking yourself up. You're going to unwind your legs. Take your hands back behind you. And just be on your fingertips here. Roll those shoulders back. Lift your chest up. Just kind of look up above the horizon here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Your heart soften. I'm going to take your legs out in front of you. Take your arms out in front of you. Lift your toes. Keep your legs nice and active. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, round them down. Take your palms together. We'll just do a few more times. This is our core work today. I don't want any of us to get too hot. So practicing long lifted spine. 2 more. out in front of you. Like a slow rewind of a Dracula film. We're just gonna lower all the way down onto our back. And then for real, that's the end of your core work. Just go ahead and bring your legs in towards you. Give yourself a little squeeze, rocking around, massaging the back on the floor. I'm gonna get hit in the face by a lot of pine needles today. And then keep holding onto your right leg. Take your left leg out. It doesn't have to be straight, that left leg. Just do something comfortable with it. Let your right thigh fall in towards your belly. Like all of that tissue in the front of your right hip just starts to melt. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then you're gonna keep holding onto your right leg with your right hand. Put your left hand on your left hip and make that left leg more active. So again, it doesn't have to be straight. You wanna have the toes engaged. If the foot's on the floor, you're just gonna push that foot into the floor. We're gonna open the right side out to the right while trying to keep that left side fairly stable. And the leg doesn't need to go all the way out to the side. While you're here though, can you gently feel the inside of your belly rolling over towards the left? Which is a weird thing to say, so if it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. Breathing in. Staying there as you breathe out. And then you're gonna take your right leg and you're gonna guide it over to the left, coming into a twist. Open your right arm out to the right and then roll your collarbone over towards your fingertips. Let your belly get softer every time you exhale. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then come back to your back. Pull your left leg in. And let your right leg slide out long. Let the right leg relax. Let the left hip relax. Letting that left leg get a little bit closer towards your belly. Notice if the front of your shoulders touch the kind of tense. Relax your arms. Just hold the leg. Don't force the leg. Another breath like this. Softening with your exhale. And then make your right leg more active. You might push the foot down or press the foot out. Then place your right hand on your right hip. Open that left leg out to the left. And then feel your belly rolling over towards the right just a little bit. Let the front of your shoulders be soft. Your jaw muscles are soft. Big breath in. Big breath out. Taking the leg up and over towards the right, so you come into a twist, take the left arm out to the left. Let your left collarbone roll over towards the fingertips. The belly gets softer every time you exhale.
As I'm on the world, through smoke
the back. Bring both knees in. Take a big inhale. Big exhale. Start that nice and long. Reaching your fingertips and your toes as far away from each other as you can. A little bit longer, right side and left side and right side and left side. Take a really big inhale and let out a big loud sigh. Another time like that. Inhale. To your left wrist and give yourself a little stretch to the left side. I clung to my life, just as my tongue was again to my eyes. Exhale here. Relax your left wrist. Take both of your feet over towards the right side now. And then hold on, or to the left side, sorry, feet to the left side. And then hold the right wrist as you gently pull out and lengthen that side body. Inhale here. Exhale here. Come back to the center. I'm going to roll over onto our bellies. Go ahead and slide over so you're laying flat. Take a pillow for your head with your hands. Rest your forehead down. Elbows. So you're going to draw those in underneath your shoulders and into Sphinx pose. Let your collarbones open up. Take your gaze forward. If your lower back feels tense, bring your legs a little bit wider. But if you feel okay with the feet about hip width distance apart, that can be a good way to find a little bit more flexibility in the lower back. Take your left hand over towards your right elbow, bend your right leg, and then reach back and try to catch it. If you can't catch it, just go ahead and bend into the knee, reach the toes up. If you can catch it, maybe hold on, and then roll the collarbones open. So I'm trying to get my whole chest to face directly forward. Inhale here. Exhale here. Slowly release your right foot. Come back to having both forearms down, both hands face forward. And then take your right hand over towards your left elbow, bend the left leg, reach back and catch your foot. And then you see how I kind of roll over towards that left side. I want to try gently to roll both sides forward. Get a nice stretch to the shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale here. Gently release that back foot. Coming back to the Sphinx pose. One more inhale. Exhale. Coming back onto your belly, widen your elbows, rest your head, shake your hips a little bit side to side. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press your hips up so that they come up above your knees. And then walk your hands forward into puppy dog pose. Let your tailbone roll upwards and your heart fall downwards. Take a big breath in here and a big breath out. Start walking your hands in, coming up onto your hands and knees. And go through a few cat and cow, dropping your belly, looking up, breathing in. Exhale, rounding. Hope that was not too loud. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Couple more like that. Just taking this gentle flow. One more round. Back to a more neutral spine. And then you're going to walk your hands forward slightly. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Wiggle your shoulders back a few times. And then inhale, send your heart forward and up a little bit. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, heart goes forward and up a little bit. Exhale, down. Once more, inhale, up and forward. Exhale, down. Now push the floor away. Lift yourself up. And sit back into child's pose. This time, maybe taking your hips all the way to your heels. Maybe your hips are still up in the air. Feeling the breath move in the backs of your ribs. Left shoulder until you lay all the way down on the outside of your head, your shoulder. See if you can relax your hips here. One more round of breath. And then press down into your left hand. Unwind the right arm. And take the left side down. Take the rest on the outside of your shoulder. Looking over towards the right. Relaxing your head. Relaxing your hips. Breath out. And then start to unwind yourself, coming back into table pose. You're going to take your left leg out to the left. The leg is kind of sort of straight. So your tailbone roll up. Maybe take your hands out more in front of you. I want to use kind of down dog effort in my upper body. Pushing my hands down. Letting the hips roll up and back. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. One more round of breath. Walk your hands in a little toes up, move your right toes over to the right, and then walk your hands towards your left leg. And probably you'll be kind of on the inside of it here and not all the way over it. We were just letting the hips roll up and back. Now we'll do the opposite. Try to roll that left hip down and back. When they are very warm, we're often a little bit more flexible, so it's a good opportunity to practice hamstring stretching, but still important not to overdo it. So just breathe. Take the hammy however it is today. Breathing in. Soften as you breathe out. And then we're going to come back to table pose. I'm going to shift, otherwise I will be bum towards you. You don't have to. Come to your hands and knees. You can take your right leg out to the right. Walk your hands forward, not until you feel like you're going to fall forward, but until you can feel that extension of arms reaching out into your hands and hips reaching up and back. The pinky toe edge of the foot being down really helps to stretch the outside of the shin. Flip-flop even gets the outside of my shin like super tight. Inhale here. Exhale here. And start walking your hands back so that you can turn your left toes back, and then you're going to walk your hands over towards your right head. It's all going to be an effort now of rolling that hip down and back. Just breathing into the space that comes up here. Breath. Big exhale. Start coming back into table pose. As you get back to your hands and knees, spread your fingertips out. Curl your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Walk through your heels a little bit. Stretch it out. Bring your feet to the outsides of your hands. So there's many steps. There's just one. We're going to come down to this little like half squat where my hips are about as low as my knees, or where your hips are down way far below your knees. And if you get there, you might bring your hands up to your heart. Up to you to decide whether that's a good place for your feet. You might have to do like that little quick dance to find the whole sole of the foot on the floor. From here, if you're feeling steady, we're going to come all the way up to standing. If you're feeling not so steady, take your time with it. Take an inhale. Exhale, push the floor away. Lift it up. And then hands at your heart. You've been playing the music like that. And take your legs out pretty wide. I'm going to leave the pinky toe edges of the feet down so you're still getting that outside of the shin stretch. Take an inhale and lift your arms up. And exhale, fold forward here on the insides of your legs. Relax your head down. Keep pushing through those outer edges of your feet. Try to release your ears down into the ground. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bend your knees slightly, bring your hands to your hips, draw your belly in, come up nice and slow. You can turn your right toes all the way out to the right, turn your left toes in a little bit more. Just shift the hips over towards the left and then slide your right hand down into triangle pose. You might take your left arm up, you might leave it at your hip. See if you can push down into your back foot, your left foot. Maybe get a little bit more space on this side of your waist. And don't like lose all the space on this side of your waist. You want to have both sides long. If I push down, a little bit more space right here. Ears out of your shoulders. Returning to that cooling breath if you need it. Big inhale. Big exhale. Draw your belly in, come all the way up. And then you're going to take your left foot and bring it up much closer to your right foot. And then still got left toes facing out and right toes facing all the way over. A little bit of a balance play. If you can take your half moon all the way to the ground, or if you have something handy that you want to use, maybe some yoga blocks or something, you can come all the way down in the half moon, or you might try to find this as more of like a lifted balance space, so you could just be like here. You want to push into that back foot to find that strength on the sides of your belly. Maybe all over because there's lots of flickering shadows going on in the trees. That's interesting. Well, that's the truth and the reality right now. I might as well roll with it. Maybe your hands down, it doesn't have to be. This is a really good hot day balance pose because you're airing everything out. Roll that left collarbone open. And if you haven't already, then we'll start to come out of it. Acclimate to vertical again. And then legs are out nice and wide. We're going to turn the toes over in a triangle pose again. So take the left toes over and the right toes come in slightly. And then the hips shift over. And your left leg, or left arm, slides down. The left leg slides. Find length, ears away from your tailbone reaches away from your ears. Push into that other foot. What does that change? Ears still out of shoulders. This arm can be up. It doesn't have to be. Inhale. Exhale. Draw your belly in. Come on up. And you're going to bring your right foot a lot closer to the left. That foot out that way. That foot out that way. And talk about pushing into this foot because a lot of times we get up there and we're like really worried about like where the body goes, and then this leg's just kind of flopping out there somewhere. And if you have like a body part that's not participating, that's not along for the ride, then you have just like this dead weight that you're carrying. So make this leg just as active as you're making this leg. And it doesn't matter if you stop up here, you just have the toes every so often. Maybe you're going to try to balance out there. Maybe you've got something to put your hand on, or you put it on the ground. But here's the thing, also don't be here, because now this is my dead weight. I want to have a long, strong spine, and your hand doesn't have to be on the ground. It's easier for me to balance down here. That's why I'm doing it. Inhale. Exhale. And out of it if you haven't already found yourself there. Shake things out. We're going to come back down into that squat. You're going to bring your feet nice and wide. Might just be here. An easy place to hang out. You might be down here. And if you got down here and your heels are up or things just feel odd, you might need to like move the feet around. Just come back up, move the feet, come back down. In this squat, let your upper butt, which is exactly where you think it is, drop down a little bit more. One more breath in. breath out. And then take your hands down. We're going to take a forward fold now. So you're going to lift your hips up. Maybe your toes turn a little bit more forward. Feet are wider than the hips, but less wide than our quadriceps, our really wide-legged fold. You might still have very bent feet. Drop your head down. Maybe your hands are on your shins. Try to let your torso be heavy. And then you're gonna bend more into your right leg than your left leg. So this leg doesn't have to be totally straight, but this leg is much, much, much more bent. And then take your left arm open. You have a nice stretch to the outside of your left hip. So you just push your hip over to the left a bit. Stay there as you exhale. And switch sides. Your left hand comes down, the left leg is more bent. Open the right arm up. Inhale here. Exhale here. Come down to the center. Bend your knees a bit. Hands to the hips. Take it up nice and slow. You're going to bring your legs out pretty wide again. We're going to take savasana or side lunge. I just want you to think as you do this that your hips are going back. You want the spine to go straight forward. So just like having this little hinge, it's that same kind of action. So even though you have like a little bit of effort going over there, I don't want to let my spine go that way. I want it to go. So toes are like not forward and not out to the side. They're just kind of somewhere in between, and you might adjust those to find a better space. Bring your hands to your hips. And you're going to bend into your right leg or to your left leg, but you're not going to go over to the left. You're going to send the hips back and the heart forward. This could be your standoff. What you also might do is come down more, so it's kind of like a squat. And if your heel comes up, that means you should adjust the feet a little bit more. Maybe those toes lift. Maybe I leave them down. Maybe hands are on the ground. Maybe hands are at my heart. Maybe you're like, wow, that looks like a nice idea for next week. You do not ever have to do this one. You could be here. Yeah, or here. Wherever you are, take another breath in and out. And then we're going to come back up. So I can use my hands to come back up here. Wiggle things. And then we're going to take it down to the other side. So we have all of those places we stop. You might bend into the leg and have the hips going back. Spine straight forward here. You might stretch more down here. You might find that space where your hips are going down and back. Maybe the toes are up, maybe they're down. And you find a space to breathe for one more round of breath. Take the hands, use them to bring you all the way back up. And bring the feet towards each other. Ooh, high pine needle right in the toe. Feet come in nice and close. You're going to reach the arms up and stay in this extended mountain pose for a few moments, trying to lengthen the front side of the body. Feel your front pockets opening up, this space becoming a little bit more expansive. One more inhale, maybe your heart lifts up a little bit higher. Exhale, hands at your heart. Step your feet a little wider than hip width. You'll come up towards the front of your mat. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, folding down. Bend your knees as much as you need. Let your head hang. Inhaling halfway up. Roll your shoulders back and lift your heart. And then as you take your hands down, you're going to take your left leg and work it pretty far back. And you might have to take some extra scootches. Then lower your left knee down. Put your hands up onto your front thigh. You want to try to open this front pocket space. We're going to move the weight just slightly forward. Keep pushing down into your front foot. And leave your right hand on your right thigh. You're going to take the left arm up into a little side stretch here. Want to soften the belly back. Relax that shoulder forward. Big exhale. And then come on up. And just to play around a little bit, it's a little bit weirder and harder to balance. Try to take your left hand onto your right thigh and let your right arm go up and over, but you can't let your hips go over to the side. You have to keep them in the middle. This is hard and weird. Exhale. Come on up. With both arms, pull those elbows out and back. To get more chest opening, let the arm bones roll back, maybe the hands fall back. Maybe your gaze comes up. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then take your hands down. So you're going to take the back foot. We're going to lift the back knee. Bring it in a little bit. And then see if you can come towards standing split. So you want to try to keep your torso close to that leg, and getting the leg up off the ground is you're splitting you away from the floor. Good job. If the leg gets up higher, great. Know that this is a really big hamstring stretch. It's more for the standing leg. Try to relax your head down. And then both feet come down. A little bobble head. Shuffle, wiggle. Inhale, halfway up here, lifting the heart forward. Exhale, coming on down, taking your right leg back as far as it'll go. Lowering your knee down, taking your hands up onto your front thigh. And try not to hang out back here. We want to come forward and open up the front of the chest. Take your right arm up. And then reach into that side bend. So keep your heart facing forward, your gaze forward. Reach up longer through that right side. Inhale. Exhale. Come on up. You're going to take your right hand over towards your left thigh. Take your left arm up and over. You really want to keep your legs stable. It's hard. Push into that front foot. You're creating more heat in this leg. No, but it'll help with that standing split. Big exhale. Come on up. Both arms come up. Lift longer through the spine with those arms more open. I like expansive, wide fingertips. Letting the elbows roll forward as the palms roll back. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Hands to the ground. And the back foot comes up. Lift it up. Come up and stand on that left leg. Doesn't matter how far the right leg goes up. I'll tell you what though, the closer you get your torso to your leg, the more room you have to lift the other one up. Know that. Exhale. Both feet come down. Wiggle things out. And go ahead and sit yourself down. All the way down onto your back. Knees into your chest. Be rocking a little bit side to side. I'm going to set the left foot down. Take the right ankle onto the left knee and open that right side out. If this is a lot of stretch, you can stay here. Maybe you just hold on to that leg, or the right arm comes in between and you hold on to the left leg and you try to soften your hips down. If you have the space, we are drawing the legs closer towards the torso, but not trying to hike the hips up off of the floor. Try to release the hips towards the floor. Big inhale. Big exhale. You're going to release your hands. Set the left foot down, set the right foot down. And then widen your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Let both knees go towards the left. Take the arms and extend them above your head. Doesn't need to be really even extended. Think of more of it flopping them up above your head. The front of your the right hip open up. You might even reach that right knee away from you a little bit more to make that happen. Exhaling here. And then taking the knees up, settling yourself in the center, taking your left leg up, and placing the ankle on your right knee. Maybe staying here, maybe taking the left arm in between and holding on to the right leg. Relax your hips down. One more round of breath. Releasing your right foot down, your left foot down, your feet go a little wider. And then both knees go to the right as your arms just flop back behind you. Let the front of your left hip open up. Soften with your exhale. Start to bring the legs back to the center. Set your feet a little bit closer together. Let your knees open up wide. If this feels very tender on your inner thighs, you can take your hands and kind of hold your fingertips to them. Maybe you do, just let the thighs open. Letting the stress come. One more round of breath. And guide the knees back towards each other. Give yourself a little speed. Come up to a seat. You're going to come into child's pose. Roll yourself over, roll your legs back behind you. Wide knees, hips back. Arms forward and forehead down. I've heard him say it's in the trees. You can hear it roll. It's on the breeze. I've heard Take 2 more deep breaths, letting your hips drift back behind you. Into your bones. settle and soften with your exhale. Start to lift yourself up. You're going to take your right foot up outside of your right hand. You might have to grab it and bring it where you want it. Make some circles around your hips. Your hips. Big circles. Go in the other direction. And as you start to settle it a little bit more, you're going to come up onto your left fingertips, take your right arm open, and keep trying to pull your right hip backwards. You should get a nice stretch on the outside of your thigh. Soften your belly. Your heart open into the split. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you take your hands down, you're going to move your left or right foot over towards your left hand. We'll come down into pivot. My knee isn't facing directly forward. It's going out towards that right corner. Maybe you wiggle your left leg back a little bit. And again, when the body's hot, you get a lot more room to open up these really big areas that get very tight, like hips and hamstrings. So you might have more space today. You might be able to feel this pose is a little bit more accessible. Don't overdo it. Explore the space you have available to you softly and gently. If you feel like you've got a lot, if you really want to expand, release those hips, great. Enjoy resting into your pigeon pose. Up onto your hands. You have to push down, pull your hips back, unwind that right leg, finding table pose, shifting things around a little bit. And then your left foot comes outside of the left hand and make some circles around. It doesn't have to be as close to mine as maybe yours is like out back there. All of that's fine. Circles around in your hips. Make those circles move in the other direction. How many of the elements around? There's belly, there's chairs, I've got sticky things all over my head. Oh dear, yoga outside. So you're going to settle into this now. Stay in this one. Come up onto your right fingertips. You've got more space to roll your left arm open. Relax your left hip back. Let your heart open up towards your fingertips. Stay here as you breathe in. Stay here as you breathe out. And then you're going to take your your front foot, you're going to bring it over towards your right hand. And then the knee comes down and out. Went out towards that side. And I do have my hips still pretty balanced here. Might slide the right leg back.
You might stay here. Your hips might be all the way up here. You're just going to try to find softness there. Maybe you come down onto your elbows. And pigeon's like the maximum, like, what am I doing here and where are we going next at times? If there's a lot going on in the hips, and you're either really intense in that experience, or if this is like a really sweet place to rest for you, in which case the mind kind of turns off a little bit or starts to think about what your afternoon plans are. And instead of letting ourselves be in those places, can we be in this place? Can you be in this pose? In this breath? Heck, even in this song, just in this moment. About 3 more breaths. When you're ready, start to come up onto your hands. Pull your hips up and back. Slide that left leg back. Come down to laying flat on your belly. Take a pillow for your head with your hands. Rest your forehead or a cheek. Excellent. Cooling posture. Most areas of the body that are often closed off or really sweaty, kind of exposed to the elements here. Just a little bit more open, closer to the cool earth. Big inhale. Big exhale. Bring your hands in. Start to press yourself up. You're going to come into a seat, bringing your legs in front of you. And the soles of your feet come towards each other. Knees open wide. Rocking a little bit side to side. Usually your sits won't done. If that's not making it happen, you can always make a manual adjustment there. And then soften forward. You can soften more here, if that feels better in your back. If you can come forward, relax your lower back. Maybe you can do the deepest hold ever. Let your head hang down. Big breath in. Soften something as you exhale. Again, big breath in. Soften as you exhale. Start to come up. I'm going to take your leg forward and a little bit more open than your hips. I need to adjust something again just to feel a little bit more stable. Putting your elbows down onto your belly, and they can be like up here. Your hands are even down if you're not feeling like coming forward. And if you're all the way up here, I want you to relax your chin down.
If you've got more space,
You might bring your body out over your legs.
you can even use your hands to hold your head in case your neck is feeling tense. Find someplace that you can soften.
Don't try to get deep into a hole. Don't pull and scream and
Have ideas about exactly how this shape is supposed to look. What we want to do here
is practice a little bit more surrender and softness. Where can you let go? What can you tune into and be present with? And then what is that moment like?
And if things do change, you're there soaking up the entire experience of that change, if it happens. Eventually it will. Inhale. Soften as you exhale. Start to lift yourself back up. Your hands back behind you. Roll your shoulders back, let your chest stretch opening upwards a bit. Inhaling here. Exhale, soften. Reach forward so that you can come all the way down to lay on your back. If you've got something you want handy for Shavasana, making sure that you've got that. And come in and take a quick twist to wrap up. Rock out your lower back. And then open your arms and let the knees go over towards the right. Let your belly roll to the left. Let your left collarbone roll to the left. And every exhale be an opportunity to let something go. Check in with the muscles in your face. Maybe letting your eyeballs rest back a little bit. One more exhale. Let the body be weighted, drawn to the earth. And start to work your way over into the other twist. When you find that space, that similar shape, rolling the belly over towards the right collarbone rolls open. Twists can be really heat building. So here especially, try to let loose into it. If we soften into it and don't drive it, it'll be much more relaxing, much less heat building. you're maintaining a campfire, there's a point at which you really just don't need to keep putting wood in. This is that point. You start to let things back on down. Ease up and settle in. Taking an inhale, taking an exhale. One more round of breath. And starting to come back to the middle. Set the soles of your feet down a little bit wider than your hips. Knock the knees against each other. Place your hands perhaps on your belly and your heart, or somewhere that just feels connecting. A position that calls to you. That calms you. Choose to stay in this position to rest for the next few minutes. You might decide to extend your legs out, let the feet flop open, maybe the arms come down by your sides, with palms up, making this gesture of being ready to receive. And not just ready to receive whatever's coming next, but ready to receive what this is. Ready to receive this moment. Rest very well. start and the end of your shavasana might feel like rather different experiences, or maybe that they feel very much the same, that they're very connected in many ways. Start to curl over onto one side, turning inwards, gratitude for coming onto your mat today, for coming together to share this time. At your leisure, come up to your own version of a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands together at your heart. One of my favorite Rumi lines. Out beyond the reach of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Nothing says presence to me like a field. Like there's just nothing out there. You just are there. Without the should and the should not and the going and coming from, we just are. Let's be there. Let's be here. Let's feel our practice with one Om. Take a deep breath in. Bowing down to the love and the light and the darkness that resides within each of our hearts. Namaste. Very sticky. How'd you guys do? Is this sound okay?
Yeah. It's a little loud in some areas, but it sounds good.
Yeah, good playlist. Good playlist.
Beautiful setting out there.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh, good to see you, Alex. How'd you make it?
Yeah, well then enjoy the river.
Thank you.
I would be so brave now that but oh my. Very good idea you had there.
And my friend forced me. She's like, no, we can't stay inside of your place. We have to go now. It's just not alright.
Well, thank you very much. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kat.
Yes, thank you.
Part of the weekend every weekend.
Or-
Indeed. I'll be back. Same bat time, same bat place. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Okay.
Stay cool.
Bye, you too.